Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Tommy, and today I'm joined by Angel.
Hello.
We're back for some more Guiding Light 1995. We're in May sweeps now. Today we're going to be discussing May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of 1995. So I'll roll the credits and we'll jump right into it. All right, so where do we begin? I guess we could start with, we opened with Lucy basically yelling at Bridget for telling her business all the
Yeah.
time. Because she told her brother Frank, and
Mm,
Frank had to pay her a little visit.
and
Um,
people cut her.
I was actually very proud of Frank because
Mhm.
Brett was like fluttering around the diner, and like the fact that he
Mhm.
didn't like punch him out was like real,
Yeah.
really good self control.
He's like, I can't stand him. And there was a, and I think it was Eleni. I forgot it was Eleni or who's the mom's name? Jean Carroll. I forgot her name.
Oh,
Nadine. Nadine.
Nadine. I was gonna call her Nina. Nadine.
You mean that? Wrong soap. Um, um, depending on which soap. Um, but yeah, they were like, "Oh no, he's not too bad." And Frank's like, "I can't stand that man. I can't stand that man."
um, so okay, this was hilarious. So we picked up with the fight in the bathroom between Alexandra
Yes.
and Holly.
Hmm.
And Holly looked like she was having a good time. Like she was
Yeah.
like she had a smirk on her face. She loved that she was getting under Alexandra's skin.
Hmm.
It was so good. um, who broke them up? Was it Fletcher? Did you tell
Fletcher.
me Fletcher
Fletcher
broke
came
them up?
into the bathroom. There was somebody in the stall.
Yeah.
Like there was a woman like peeking up over the stall, seeing them fighting. And then I think she freaks out a little bit when Fletcher comes in because of course it's the woman's bathroom.
Right.
But he but they probably were so loud that you could hear them. And
Probably.
that's how Fletcher that's how Fletcher came.
I thought it was funny because she mentions to Alexandra, she's like, I know. She's like, I should thank you because you set all this up when you lied about like making it look like you slept with Roger because it made me
Hmm.
realize that like what did she basically called Fletcher a prince, like that she
Hmm.
chose the right man or whatever. And then they all decide that they're gonna stay at the restaurant. Alexandra's having dinner with Alan, and she's using that as an opportunity to basically spy on Holly and Fletcher's date. And Holly is
Yeah.
like doubling down on being like, very like romantic and like touchy feely with Fletcher to just like piss her off.
Yeah. The sad thing is that Alexander ultimately will be right about Fletcher. Because Holly, like I said last, I think a few times ago, Holly winds up at the very end with Ed, and because
Hmm.
Roger's dead, and Alexander winds up with Fletcher.
I kind of love that though. Like
Yeah,
I don't know. Is it Marge Doucet playing her?
it's Marge Doucet still, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Because
And they
like it
don't.
was uh, it was Marge Doucet, then it was Joan Collins, and then it was Marge Doucet again.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
That must have been when she was on All My Children that Joan Collins came
yeah,
with.
yeah. So yeah, she was still in All My Children at that point, and
Yeah.
I think Powell Rogers was like, let's bring somebody grand in this role. Couldn't handle it, so.
And all of a sudden now she's British. So those were fun. She seems to have this weird plan that if she can get to Fletcher through his kid, Ben,
Hmm.
if she offers to drive Ben to school, and he's like, it's kind of weird showing up in a limo. And she says she like bought him this video game system that's like set up in the limo.
Yeah.
So I guess stay tuned to see what happens with that if she's successful.
Stay tuned.
Um, so what's her name? Dinah is now
Hmm.
living at the boarding house. And she doesn't know how to do anything. She doesn't know how to cook. She doesn't know how to wash a dish.
Nope.
She's almost just kind of like, oh, clean that up for me. And they're like, no. It took me a minute to realize that Michelle was staying there.
Yeah.
When she was there, I was like, I think that's Michelle, but I'm not sure because she was
Yeah,
like,
I didn't know why Michelle was saying. Well, no, well, the Reardons are her family, so that makes sense.
okay.
Adoptive, but they're her family.
Matt looked really good in his tank top. I was like, oh, I
Oh,
didn't
he
know
really
he had all those
did.
muscles. I was like, where'd all those muscles come from? I was like, all right. um, and he's like helping out with the baby. Apparently, the baby was crying all night. Michelle had a line where she was like, "Oh, thank God for the baby. Like, I missed my alarm, so the baby like woke her up for school."
Hmm.
But Dinah's complaining about the baby. Totally forgot that Roger's the grandfather because he's
Yeah,
the Peter. Is that his name? Peter.
Peter. Yeah,
This sounds like such an adult name. I
yeah.
can't like wrap my head around calling the
Well,
baby.
they call him Petey or Peanut. Like I
Okay.
know Bridget calls him Peanut.
Yeah. Bridget seems to be back to her old self. She's spunky again.
Yeah.
She's like out of that angry phase that she was in.
Hmm.
Um, so when Roger shows up at the boarding house, Diana
Oh,
goes to like run
sorry.
into his arms and he's like,
Like
"Hi, nice to meet
Roger,
you."
and then he's like, "Oh yeah, hi, nice to meet you. Hi, how you doing?"
It's just like, oh, all right.
Oh, and she keeps trying to like kind of talk to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not having it." Hey, Peter, how you doing?
um, so we basically had a throwaway um Jilly's back in town because she got fired. It would have been nice to have seen that story on screen.
Yeah, but then I think the last time they were like, "Oh, well, how did that happen?" And they zoom in on Alan. The fact
Why?
that he got her fired because Sid was a part of the Fifth Street that case with the money, I think, or
Yeah,
something. And Sid was like, "Oh no, I'm not going to be here for long because I'm going to move to California with Jilly." So
right. So Jilly's back.
for now.
And she's just like, oh, that's show business, I guess.
Hmm.
But Roger likes her. She'll have a job. She's not unemployed.
Yeah.
um, so yeah, so now the Fifth Street Ball. We're still dealing with the money being stolen, even though Roger returned it. They
Hmm.
are like adamant on finding who stole this money. And Tangi claims to have a source, but she will not give up the source.
Hmm.
And they mention her getting out of town until this blows over. I was like, is this her exit story? They're just like, yeah, go out of town until this blows over, and then she never comes back.
Yeah.
So I really thought this was her exit story.
I
But
think
then
she leaves
Cutter
the
shows
office
up
though.
and like arrests her.
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny that the I guess the hooker that gets put in her cell with her
Hmm.
is working with Roger.
Yeah. The quote unquote hooker. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a
Um
plant.
yeah, these were really fun to watch. Is there anything notable that you wanted to mention?
Well, we forgot Josh, the Josh story, and Annie
Oh my god,
story.
how could I forget that?
Oh my
Oh my
gosh!
god, it was so how could I forget that? Okay. So Josh is now seeing Reva, Ghost Reva, while he's in bed with Annie, and he
Hmm.
keeps freaking out. And he's like, it's not even registering to him because he's so freaked out about Ghost Reva that Annie thinks that he has erectile dysfunction.
Yes. I mean, he has a Iraq Reva dysfunction, but
She's like, it happens to everybody. It's fine. I just want to be next to you and cuddle. And he's just like, and every time they start to kiss and whatever, Reva pops up. And it's just like, bud, she's like, she's not the
but
right
she's
girl for
not good for
you.
you. But
Okay, so I have like a weird thing with Reva's accent because I feel like when I would randomly watch in the 2000s, she did not have a Southern accent.
she did not have a Southern accent. No.
And when I watch older stuff, I feel like sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not, and it really
Sometimes it's
irritates me.
yeah. It 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 bounces around.
Yeah,
It's in
when
and
she
out.
like really leans into it, I'm like, where did that come from?
Yeah, because like her origin story is that she's from Tulsa, so she has a Southern accent, but I guess
Right.
being in Springfield all this time, or being everywhere else but Springfield during from 90 to 95 probably
Right.
got rid of that accent.
And Cristobal, Amish country.
Amish country, the Florida Keys in the water, in a car, in a red car.
I was thinking about because we lightly touched on like Eterna and stuff in our last podcast about Guiding Light, even though that's about One Life to Live.
Hmm.
But anyway, I was just like thinking about like Riva going off the bridge in the car into the water and like maybe San Cristobal being like the city underneath the water. Like maybe this whole thing over my head. And that's how she ended up in San Cristobal. I don't know. Anyway, back to Guiding Light. Yeah, every time he tries to get back into it, Riva's just like hanging out there, like, what are you doing, bud?
Bud, what you doing? What you doing, bud?
So like, does she just hang around and pop in like this for 6 months until we see her again, or is this just like a random thing right now?
I
You
guess
don't know.
this is. I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure. I know. Like they mentioned that Riva just came back around Christmas time, so I
Okay.
think it is about maybe like 5 or 6 months that she's popping in and out as a ghost.
Well, if she just came back and everybody knows it, it was probably
Oh wait,
a November sweeps thing,
yeah, it
which,
could be a November sweeps thing.
which means they probably had some lead up to that. So maybe October, because I think she does come back in October.
Yeah, because I know Alan's the one who brings her back.
Really? Alan's involved in everything. Jeez.
Yeah.
So
That's what I know because like I don't know how it happens, but I know it's Alan that brings her back.
he's a busybody. He's everybody's business.
Well, Tanji's supposed to be out in August, so he needs something to do.
Right. Right. um oh, so during Josh's like last freak out, he like says he has to drive Annie home and she's like, "Why?" He's like, "This is a date. I'm driving you home." Like he's adamant. So then the next day he's like going through a box and he's looking at pictures of him and Riva. He's smelling things because I guess it smells like her perfume. Mindy finds him and he's like, "Riva's back," or "I saw Riva." He says, "I saw Riva," and she's like, "What? What?" So all this ends up with him. He has to go to Cross Creek. What is Cross Creek? I've heard this place mentioned so many times. I've heard that it's moved. Like, what
It's
is Cross Creek?
their spot. It's like their spot.
Okay, did they get
Reba and
married at
Josh's
Cross
spot.
Creek? Like,
It's a cabin.
it's a cabin. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think it might be a town, but I think no, I don't think it's a no. I think it's a cabin. I think it's just a cabin.
And was it moved? Because
It was moved.
I've heard people say that it was far away, and then it was just like a town over, like toward the
Yeah,
end.
it got moved.
It did. Okay.
But
Um.
before that, I think when he took Annie home, when Josh took Annie home, he said that Shane was sick, but Shane was just going to the movies with Mindy. I think yeah, Mindy, and Mara, and then Annie comes over and
Mhm.
talks. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry about last night." Mara comes downstairs and is like, Annie." So immediately, Mara and Shane are close with Annie.
Yeah.
Let's put a pin on that for a few years when things go to shit.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, that the Mara and Annie thing started because
Hmm.
when Josh was in the hospital, she like snuck Mara in to see
Yeah.
him. That was like the beginnings of that relationship.
Yes. Beginning of that. Yep.
Um, Speaking of the hospital, Eve is still dying from her
It's
leukemia. I don't.
leukemia.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I
Rick,
had to look it up because I was like, when does she leave? So
Rick is trying to come up with like a game plan, like chemotherapy, and she's just like online talking to people, like researching like not, I guess FDA approved ways to cure this.
Mhm.
And she in secret, I guess, comes up with a formula and injects herself with it.
Mm.
So that's a thing. Um, I mean, we know she dies, so it's not gonna work. So
Yeah, yeah, obviously, yeah, yeah. It's she dies during May sweep, so
and we're in May, so
and we
her
are in May. Yep.
clock's ticking on you, girl.
Yep.
She
Calm
actually
down.
doesn't look that sick, so she must
She
deteriorate
doesn't.
pretty fast.
Yeah, she must deteriorate really fast.
Maybe the injection makes her like it accelerates her disease or something. Instead of
Yeah.
helping. Um, we didn't see Lillian, right? There was nothing on
No,
that.
no, Lillian.
Yeah.
Um.
Um,
Oh, and to put a cap on the Annie Josh thing. Uh, so Mara is there. Mara is there. She hugs Annie, and then Annie says, "Well, yeah, I hope Shane's doing okay." And Mara's like, Shane's fine. Like, he went to the movies with me last night. You can hear Reva in the background laughing, cackling.
you can.
Yeah, she
Was
was right in
Josh
the background.
was
Reva
Josh in
was
that scene and he heard her,
with
or it
Josh and
was just
Annie in that scene. Yep, she was
oh,
cackling like,
so she knows he
and then
lied.
mhm.
So she knows Josh lied.
Yeah, she knows Josh lied.
um, yeah. And Annie already looks like she has like a short temper. Like she
Yeah.
reacts to things. So that was always
Mhm.
there. um, oh, so Alan Michael went down to Florida to
Yes.
investigate Brett's past.
Oh, this was good.
Yeah. And Brett catches wind to it because I guess some people report back to him that knew
Hmm.
him when he lived in Florida. And so he confronts Alan Michael at the office and they have a little tussle.
Well, no, this is how the tussle happened. He said, if I was still working here, if I was still working here, no, thank God I still work here because or else I'll punch you in the face. Alan Michael fires him, and then he gets
He then
punched in
hits
the
him.
face, and
Yeah.
then that's when the tussle happens.
Yeah. But Alan like kind of like plays reverse psychology with him because he says that he talked to a girl
Hmm.
who settled that he was like abusive pretty much and like attacked her or whatever,
Hmm.
and which prompts him to like say a name and be like she's lying, and he's like I actually didn't talk to anybody, so
Oh,
like got him.
got him.
um so now Brett goes to Alan.
Wait, before we get to that,
Uh-huh.
Lucy attempts to break it up, which just by yelling. But
Yeah.
like the way that it happened, it was weird because it was like, stop it, stop. It was weird. I was like, what? Like, what is this?
Did you see any of the promos for the other soaps in between?
Yes, yes. Blake
There must have
Marler
been like
account
a
does have it.
theme because like there was like another like catch this in another bold moment or like a Y&R minute. Like it was
Yeah.
just like this big theme.
Bold and Y&R have the minute
Mhm.
promos with like the road, and then
Okay.
As the World Turns has like their own promo.
Okay.
And I think it's because it's like Procter and Gamble in there, and those two are like
Okay.
their
Versus the
bell
Bell
soaps.
soaps. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
want to see I always wanted to see what Guiding Lights promos are around the time, but I
They're
guess
probably not
because
going to show a promo for the show
they're
that's
not going
on
to
at the
show for
moment.
the show that's on. Yeah, so I guess I'll have to catch it on As the World Turns if I can
Yeah.
find it.
Right.
1995,
Or maybe even the Sheila
maybe
edits if we
Boulder.
ever get back to that.
Yeah. That yeah, but
But yeah, so Brett goes to see Alan Michael.
mm, no,
And
Alan.
Alan, and tells him that Alan Michael is like deliberately trying to destroy the company.
Mm.
And he's like, I don't know if I'm overstepping. And Alan's like, oh no, you did the right thing coming to
Oh
me.
no, you did the right thing,
So I'm like, great. Ascension in
Brett.
the ranks. Alan's gonna try and take the company away from Alan Michael. Like, great. Perfect. But okay, so like
I'd
I
like to
don't
do.
know what it was. I don't know if it was the glasses on Recurse, but I was like really feeling him in these episodes. I was just like, oh, he's so
Yeah.
cute. So then I went on like a Recursed rabbit hole. I was like, how long was
And
that?
he wants to be with Lucy. Like, that's the greatest thing ever to me. Like, he wants his Lucy. He
Yeah.
wants to make sure she's okay.
Hmm.
It's the sweetest thing ever.
I know, and I just feel like it's not gonna last because either he leaves and gets recast or she leaves. Like I just feel like it's not
Yeah.
gonna work out. But yeah, I went down a Recurse rabbit hole and I was like, how long was he on Days? It was 11 months. I was like, should I watch him? Like for the podcast or Patreon or something?
Wait, He was on Days for only 11 months.
Yeah, he came in June of '89, and him and Melinda Clark left in May of '90.
Oh my gosh, I
91.
didn't realize that they were on for that short of a time.
Yeah, and I thought about it. I was like, this was kind of like a weird time for Days as far as like the teen/younger set, because I
Yeah.
feel like they tried them maybe as a couple and it didn't work, and then like almost right after them was Tanner and Molly, which also didn't
Yeah.
work, and then like they got rid of them, and then they got into the Carrie and Austin, Sammy, and that worked. They finally hit
Yeah.
me. But yeah, he was only on for 11 months.
Wow. And then he went right in the Guiding Light after that.
Yeah. And then I think he tried to do primetime and did a few guest spots, and then GH or Bold.
Yeah.
I don't know if he did Bold before GH.
No, he did Bold before GH. He
Oh
was
no, he
with.
did YNR because he was a recast Matt.
Oh yeah, he was Matt Clark.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I forgot about
And then
that.
he did Bold, and then he did GH.
And then he went back to Bold, and then he went back to GH. And it was like flip
Yeah,
flop,
now he's
flip
on
flop.
GH. Yeah. I don't think they're gonna really do the Jones family again on Bold. I think they know that family was a flop. So
Yeah. Plus, I hated his name.
yeah, Whip.
Whip. I was like, what? Was there anything important I missed that you wanted to mention?
Trying to think. I think we got everything. I did like the Sheila promo a lot, and the Phyllis and Cricket
Right.
promo.
I really have to get back into watching my classic Bold because like I'm in January of '95.
So I'm
And like,
wondering if this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
and in that promo, it looks like I was like, oh, Sheila's going after what's his name?
James.
James. I was like, shit. I was like, I have 4 more months till I get to that. Like, I have to get to this.
I was like, I wonder if this is when Mary was born.
Oh,
Like, I wonder if this is when Mary was conceived.
what's her name? Lovejoy or something?
Erica Lovejoy.
Erica Lovejoy.
Or Mary Warwick.
So was Erica Lovejoy her birth name, like on her birth
No.
Oh,
No, that's not her birth name.
okay.
Okay, I remember this clearly because this was when Sheila came back and Mary was aged and played by
Okay,
Courtney Draper from she was
Militia
on a
run,
Disney
pretty much.
show.
The 2002 Militia run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. This was before the Militia.
Okay.
This was like 2000, 2001, I think.
Okay.
She clearly said, I always wanted Mary to be Eric's child. So I named her Erica, and the love, and name her Lovejoy because that's the joy. She's my joy, and the love that I share for Eric, or something stupid like that. Like it was something really stupid.
So is Lovejoy her middle name?
Lovejoy, no, Lovejoy is her fake last name.
Oh.
So that way we don't get the connection because her name is like Mary Carter Warwick.
Okay.
But they didn't want her to like. They didn't want her to be like. Yeah, they didn't. When she came back to town, she came back prior to Sheila.
They didn't want the audience to know.
They didn't want. Yeah, they didn't want the audience to know, and they didn't want the people in fake Los Angeles to find out. So.
Right. Sounds so good. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm really enjoying Guiding Light. I'm glad we're back.
Me too.
I'm glad we're in sweeps, so hopefully more big things will happen.
I think Mindy's on her way out too.
But also, like, it's such like a bittersweet time because like Mindy's on her way out, but so is Tangy. So like, yay.
Well, no, Tangy leaves in August.
I thought she left in May. Oh.
I thought she left in May too, but I think I got her and Mindy confused.
Oh, all right.
I think we get a little bit more of Tangy.
Well, we know Eve's leaving, so we have a few departures.
Yeah, Eve and Mindy are leaving, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for another edition of Guiding Late 1995. We'll be back real soon with another couple of episodes, maybe 3. As always, you can find us on all the socials and on Patreon at Queers and Soaps. And until next time, have a great night. Bye.
Bye.